to winning ways. But Danny, you felt Chelsea helped them a little bit on their way.
I did. I mean, Chelsea are always a good watch, creative. They make chances against everyone and cause teams problems, and they did that in the first half. But defensively, they lack leadership and experience and a little bit of athleticism. I thought they were really naive, playing this high line.
That'll come from the manager, though, won't it?
The tactics, yes, but sometimes players have to take responsibility. It's only a 5-yard difference, but they play this high line to try and get after Man City, fair enough. But when there's no pressure on the ball, you've got to drop off. You've got to use your football intelligence. That can go in over the top for Haaland. It doesn't. On this time, he knocks it into Foden, who takes a great touch. Then it opens up, because there's so much space to run into. It just encourages the opposition to run off the ball. And we haven't seen enough of this from City, actually, recently. Getting into great positions, fullbacks flying forward. Guardiola was terrific today. Again, this time Madueke's dropped in to open his back four. If they just drop off, it discourages the Man City players from making runs. But because they're so high, they've got players of quality. Guardiola, off he goes. Great run. Gets himself in a great position. Tries to make the right finish, just goes past the post. But they weren't heeding the warnings, Chelsea. They just kept doing it. No communication. This is the leadership I'm talking about. There's the two fullbacks, because they're on the move constantly, knowing they've got all that space to run into. And this is how they get back into the game. Falls to Guardiola. And I thought second half Chelsea are going to obviously drop a little bit. They've learned they can't carry on, but they did. If anything, they went after City even more. But City are clever. They've got experienced players. If you consistently leave Haaland one-on-one with anyone, you're asking for trouble.
Definitely.
And although I like Colwell, he's a decent footballer, he's a good player. He's not got the physical capability of a Van Dijk or a Saliba. So you're gonna get problems. And this time it was Chalobah, Ederson using his brain, City missing out the press. And as soon as it goes up there, with the space he's got to run into, he's hard to contain. We know Sanchez had a bad day again, and he's made a real problem there. But at least Chalobah should show him on his right foot. Maybe he slipped, give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. And again, as the game wore on and got more stretched, it became even easier for City. Good play from Haaland this. But again, look at the space you've got to run into. Fresh legs are on the pitch, but De Bruyne was coming on as well. This time it's Foden who's burst through. Good little touch from Haaland, and that sealed the game. But I don't think City had to play brilliantly to get through.
No.
It was just big, wide open spaces and lots of running off the ball with some quality passes.
Striker's dream.
Striker's dream.
You've got no pressure on the ball as well.
Yeah.
It's really, really tough.
You can play as high as you want.
But that's where leadership comes.
Yeah.
That's where a senior player says, boys, let's give it 5 minutes.
Couple of new faces for City, Alan. Contrasting performances.
Yeah, Kusen had a tough debut, but I was impressed with Marmoush. I thought he had a promising debut.
Really
played
good.
some really good football. Was a threat. He brought an energy, I thought, to and a pace and a willingness. This was after a couple of minutes where he times his run really, really well. Gets his shot away, and you think, here we go. And he was bright and he was lively. He got good balls into the box. I thought had a good understanding, despite him only being there a couple of days. This was just offside, but I liked the way he wanted to get in there, and he was prepared to get in there, which is important. Had to do his shift as well defensively. This was impressive as well to see, backing up Guardiola in that position. Not only does he actually win the ball back, but he's prepared to say, okay, then. He did the rest going forward as well, so that bit was impressive for him. So there's no doubt that he'll learn from today and he will get better. And he played a big part in the game. I said about the understanding with Haaland, that will get better as well. But that showed promising sign. Gets his shot away here. He's unlucky to not see that go in the back of the net. But yeah, plenty to work with, but good day for him and City.
Yeah, absolutely. Only goal difference was keeping Wolves out of the bottom three ahead of second place Arsenal's visit to Molineux. Mark Scott is your commentator.
A lot in that. Impressive, would you say, given the injuries that you've had, what happened in midweek and the start to this match, the way you've come back and taken all 3 points?
Yeah, it was not the best start, and we were lucky that they couldn't punish us with the 2-0, but after that we recovered emotionally really, really strong. And we make a good performance, especially for the team we are playing. At the end we had more the ball than the last games, and that make us, to have chances to play. And they just 3 points, but of course in the situation that we are, and especially for the game, the final we have next Wednesday, so it was really important.
Kusanov, how is he?
He didn't speak English, so I didn't speak with him. We'll be fine. So understand, come for the first time, didn't make 1 or 2 training sessions. I don't want to push John because come from the injury because I need him from Wednesday. And he will learn. As much he's aware of what happened, he will learn.
It is an education, isn't it? Football can be brutal as well in those moments. But when you made that substitution, the way that his teammates, the way that support staff, the way that the fans supported him, appreciated the composure that he managed to find once the nerves had settled a bit for him?
No, especially the players, how they were together. That's we talk a lot these days about that, and that was massively important because in that moment any player can make a mistake, in that terms, and after that you feel alone is even tougher. So, and the fans, I know, the new players always support, and he's so young and come from many years, and he will learn.
And we saw glimpses of Mamouche and what he can do as well, and what positives you can take from that, and what he can take from that from his debut today.
No, absolutely. Omar, have a tough opponent. James, physicality is strong, and again, so just we'll talk about some images, some never could practice, but he made an incredible movement that the players in the middle could not see him. So I think Gundo and Kova and Bernie, they should be more clever in the movements at the high line than Chelsea had being in contact. But this question of time that that know each other, because at the end we don't know the movements of him or the movements he likes and need time. So, but he plays 75 minutes good because again he cannot play on Wednesday and yeah. So it's important for them make a debut and win.
Relief maybe. Perhaps for you because of the manner in which you secured all 3 points as well in the position that you were coming into this match. How big a win is this over Chelsea?
Of course it is. Always is important against Chelsea. And of course we are the situation that we are. But now we are closer than Nottingham. But of course Bournemouth continues with impressive run. So there are a lot of teams in the margin from nothing. But our games at home, so we have today here, we have Newcastle, we have Liverpool, we have Brighton, we have Bournemouth, we have Aston Villa. All the teams that we are fighting for the Champions League, they come here to head. And as much we will be stronger here, we have a chance to qualify.
And last question, I know you don't do business in the January transfer window, and this has been a one exception. Will you strengthen further with the remaining week or so?
I don't know.
You don't know? Would you like to?
I don't know. What I would like is to have my team start this season back. I said many times. So we go to the market, maybe we'll do it in summer because we have unbelievable problems during 4 or 5 months in the beginning of the season. When more or less the team will be fit in terms of central defenders, holding midfielders, we are now gone to the market. So it's simple. So, and what happened, the club decide. These kind of things always the club cheeky, and the club decide what they have to do.
Pep, thank you.
Well, what's the second goal change a little bit the game?
You say the second goal, Erling Haaland's second goal, and Robert Sanchez again. And I know people have been talking about him, and he has had his negativity, the publicity and the criticism of him as well. Is it confidence or just decision making that he's doing that's so wrong?
Well, in this moment, I think it's a bit mixed. Robert, the good thing is that Robert is the first one that he knows that he has to do better.
Yeah, and they didn't have an effort on points from the last 15. Is that all they could do, Sean, in this situation, with the unusual situation we've seen them in, is try and build slowly, and they've got a little bit of Premier League momentum now?
Yeah, that's the only thing they can do, and what is really there for them. I think City as a club in general, they always take game by game, and they go into every game trying to get maximum points from that game. But as we know, through the blip that they had, that wasn't quite happening. But now they seem to be picking up points in pretty much a lot of the games they're playing now, and it's now just building onto that. And we know normally the back end of the season they normally go on an amazing run anyway. So it's, can they do that again? And is it going to be enough to keep him in that top four? They have to go out front foot, and I think they showed that today, coming back from 1-0 down against a good and strong Chelsea team.
Because we have seen them this season alone have a Champions League setback in the week, and then that hangover carry on to the weekend in the Premier League. And that could have easily happened today, because They were 2-0 up in Paris and lost 4-2.
Yeah. And especially when they went 1-0 down, you know, you could possibly feel the crowd thinking, oh no, here we go again. As I say, a bit frail confidence. But no, they bounced back and they played particularly well. I really enjoyed watching them. I think Chelsea actually made it reasonably easy for them.
In what way?
Well, we'll look at the goals in a little while, but, you know, I'd be quite sceptical unless I've got someone like Saliba or unless I've got someone like Van Dijk at the back.
Or Makelele in front of them.
I'm not sure I'd be leaving Erling Haaland one-on-one to basically manhandle defenders. I mean, he's big enough and strong enough to do that. And I think both the second and the third goals, Chelsea were happy just man-marking all over the place. Manchester City would sit deep in their own half, and all of a sudden it was just Haaland on his own against Chalobah or whoever the centre-half at the time was. And that's just a one-on-one. That's like really risky. And as I say, it happens a lot of the time. Arsenal do it, Liverpool do it, but they've got man-mountain centre-halves that have got the speed, got the strength and can do it. As I say, we'll have a look at it in a little while, but I thought Chelsea were a little bit naive at times.
Never happened when there was a Makelele in the team on your watch, of course. But were they a bit unprotected at times, that Chelsea back four today?
Yeah, I think they do a lot of mistakes today defensively. The positions, the way Michael said, Chalobah needs to say with the central protector, the one-on-one. I think they lose is about their own mistake. They can do better today, I'm sure.
OK, let's get some Manchester City reaction. Amongst the Premier League goals again, here he is, Erling Haaland.
Well, Erling, it looked as though every City player really enjoyed that today. Was that as good a performance, team performance, as there's been for quite a few weeks?
Yeah, I think it was a overall great performance, even though we started horrific. It was a fantastic team performance, and I'm really happy.
Was that one of those nights when the senior players all stepped up to help one another out?
I think, you know, when we get the start like we did, it's difficult, but I think we played really well, even from from that, you know, and we kept on going, and then Joshko scored, deserved goal because he had quite a few chances, and we kept on pushing, and second half was the same, and yeah, we got the goals, and in the end it's what we need to do. We need to lock it in the back and keep going attacking wise.
You just said about horrific. Do all sorts of thoughts enter your mind, or do you not let them? When you think about Paris and then you're a goal behind, does it affect you?
No, it's that early that it's almost like, okay, we have to start with -1 goal, you know, like we did it quite a few times. Even Brentford scored after, even earlier, you know. This can happen, but it's about keep going, you know, because we've done it so many times before, turn it around, especially here at home. We know how confident we are and everything, so it's about keep going and to try to have peace in mind in your head. That's really what matters.
There aren't many strikers who can have a look at the goalkeeper with the ball and think, he might give me a goal here. Every time Ederson gets it like that, are you on the move straight away?
Yeah, it's something we practice. Depends on the team we meet and everything, but especially team that goes man against man, we try to focus on giving me space, because there is a lot of space, and then Ederson gave me a lot of assists already these 2.5 years, so when he has the ball, it's about being perfect timing, because he's so precise.
And you've got a new man to help you out up front, Omar Mamouche. What had you seen of him before today, and what do you think he's going to do to help you and to help the team?
Yeah, I think I've seen. I still watch Bundesliga and support Dortmund, of course. So I'm watching Bundesliga, and I watch him as well. So it's going to be fantastic playing with him. I think he had a really good first half. You know, he even scored. I didn't see it again how much offside it was. But yeah, you can see that he has something special, and that's also why City bought him for a lot of money. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with him, and it's going to be a really good time.
Thanks, Ellie.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
He's got 5 in 5 Premier League games now after going just 3 in 13. There's 2 aspects then to his goal. Let's first of all talk about the City side. They practice it. They know what Ederson can do, and he is the obvious target in this situation.
Yeah, well, they did this a few times within a game from various areas, and I'm not sure what Chalobah's quite doing there, but Haaland reacts quicker and he sees the keeper. And for me, the finish is as cute as it gets. I think it's a perfect, delicate finish, Mo.
It is absolutely great finish. But I said that's what I was touching on before. Everybody locked in, man on man, but then you leave one-on-one at the back. I'm just not sure you can do that unless you've got somebody that's got the physical presence to manage Haaland. He, first of all, bumps Chalobah out the way, and then he sits him on his backside, and then the goalkeeper makes a horrific mistake running out when he doesn't need to. I mean, if he stands on his goal line, that's just... Haaland has to wait and wait and wait for some support off midfielders and all the rest. Goalkeeper just making up your mind. It's absolute poetry mode. When you're a centre forward and you see the opposition goalkeeper doing something stupid, making your mind up like that, it's like, oh, thank you. I would never have scored in a million years if you hadn't have just gifted me it like that. So really, really poor decision. But as I say, I think Chelsea could have avoided it in the first instance. I'm not sure that going man for man and leaving one-on-one at the back with Haaland is the ideal thing.
So we started the day by talking about the top three clubs. The top three scorers have all scored today. Salah 19, Haaland 18 and Isak 17. It's competitive for the Golden Boot. Standards are high as well because Erling Haaland won it last season with 27. The 2 years you shared the Golden Boot in the Premier League era, Mo Salah would have won it by now, ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly, 18. I think these goal scorers at the moment, as I've said before, if you were one goal in every 2 games, you were classed as world class, and now if you don't score one every game, if you're 1 in 2 now, you're just moderate. So, it's a great race. 3 top strikers there. I mean, I love Isak. I think he's so silky, so classy. Haaland maybe not got the class of an Isak in his general play, but just a goal-scoring machine. And Mo Salah's been there, seen it, done it, continues to do it. It's going to be a really interesting battle for that.
I should point out that Chris Sutton, Dion Dublin, our very own, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Dwight York were top strikers as well, who you shared the Golden Boot with.
Sharing's caring.
Indeed. Now, the other side of the goal is the Chelsea point of view and the goalkeeper, Claude. What's he thinking here, Robert Sanchez?
I think everything is about communication. When you defend it like this, is a communication. Chalobah, you need to tell him, stay. You need to do one-on-one for not give us a possibility because Haaland is good striker. He see already the goalkeeper, he give him the space for shooting. Just cross the ball and this is a big mistake.
And as you can see, it's not a statistic that the Chelsea goalkeeper will want to see again in a hurry. Alongside Muric, he's got the most errors leading to goals this season. And when we have a look at all 5 errors, including today, they're different forms of goalkeeping, Sean, as well.
Yeah, they are. I watched him in pre-season when City played against them, and he was making similar errors then, and he does throughout the season, and he did the same a bit last season as well. But not all of them ended up, I'd say, in a goal, whereas I'm finding that he's getting punished quite a bit now from the opposing teams. And this one here, Chalobah don't even know he's come for that. I think it's more of a surprise to Chalobah when he looks up and he sees his goalkeeper past the penalty spot. And just like Mo said, Haaland would have been rubbing his hands with that. And as soon as he gets good control over that, he's got basically the whole goal to aim for as long as he gets the height on it.
Is he nearing a point where Enzo Maresca perhaps just needs to take him out of the firing line, or do you continue to play him and back him?
Well, Chelsea have been doing well this season. It's a team game. He has made mistakes, a couple in the last games, but they were in the Champions League places before today, and they're only just out of them now. I don't know. It might be a position that he's looking at in the future, thinking maybe I need to change. For now, what's behind him, is that good enough? They've chopped and changed the goalkeepers quite a bit at the moment. Arrizabalaга's out on loan at Bournemouth, doing particularly well. So I don't know. It's a tough one to call. It's manager's preference, really. But it might be a position, if they want to win the league, which they obviously do in the future, then that might be a position that they probably think we've got to brush up on in the future.
He was beaten again. Phil Foden scored in 4 consecutive Premier League games for the first time, and he has 7 in 7 games. But Haaland's role in this, Sean,
it's the same thing Mo said. He's isolated again, but the hold-up play is perfect. And Chalobah comes to Warner. I don't think Chalobah needs to, and Phil just runs off the back of him. But the ball around the corner for me is brilliant. And from he gets there, he's away, Mo.
Yeah, as Sean says, it's exactly the same, Steve. Everybody's man for man all over the place. Now, if you're playing against Manchester City, or let's say you are Manchester City, and you know they're going to go man for man, why wouldn't you just put all 10 of your men in your own half and then leave Haaland up front on his own 1v1? It's just the simplest thing in the world. You've got a goalkeeper that can put it on a sixpence, and you just keep pinging it up to Haaland. He either turns and outmuscles his man like he does for the first goal, or he touches the ball and wait for a running past and flicks it around the goal. Two identical goals that, as I say, I think it's naive play. And as I say, if I'm Liverpool and I've got Virgil van Dijk, he's as quick as Haaland. He's probably stronger than Haaland. I'm quite happy with it. Saliba, I could probably do the same. But I'm not sure anybody else in the Premier League can afford to just go one-on-one and just let the goalkeeper chip it up to him and say, go on, you two have a battle, see who wins. Haaland's going to win it most of the time. I think it's naive play. Both goals exactly the same.
What do you think?
He's right. He's right. You can't leave Haaland one-on-one. It's impossible. He's a good striker. He's tiger man. He knows exactly when the ball is coming. He knows the teammate. He will take the space. We see the goal they combinate with his teammate. Easy. One-on-one is impossible. On my side, because I see...
Yeah, with our side. As I say, I can only think of two centre halves.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Van Dijk and Saliba. I mean, Gabriel is a big, strong guy, but in general, you can't do that against Haaland. That's what he is. That's you're just saying, these are your strengths. We're going to let you play to them. If anything, you sit deep. He hardly has a touch in most games. You know, you can keep Haaland quiet in many games, but when you that's just giving him what he wants. That's perfect for him. He dreams of situations like that. Why would you do it? Why would you let somebody that's got all that strength utilise it? You actually normally put them onto their weaknesses, so put them onto his right foot or keep him out the box or don't let him get a running jump on it. All the things that you think he's good at, well, let's negate them and make him do the things he's not so good at. Chelsea have just let him do what he pleases at the things he's absolutely brilliant at. It's baffling, really.
One man who will be pleased about that, having been 1-0 down, is of course the Manchester City boss. Here he is, Pep Guardiola.
Business once more on the back of that very important equaliser. 1-1. So deflection, and it will be a throw-in. Well, what can they do to stop him running at them? Romeo Lavia. And there it is, the half-time whistle. So the beginning of the second half here at Stamford Bridge. Possession one. Mudryk. Being egged on by the crowd. And a goal to re-establish their advantage. Just look at the celebrations. Palmer.